Buenos días, Cuba. Está escuchando Radio Martí.
On Monday, May 21st, the Office of Cuba Broadcasting celebrated the 33rd anniversary of the first broadcast of Radio Martí and the 28th anniversary of Television Martí by premiering a fresh morning lineup of multi-platform programming starting at 5 a.m.
El motivo por la existencia de nosotros sigue en pie y seguiremos luchando y continuando hasta alcanzar la libertad y la democracia en Cuba, que es lo que todos anhelamos.
Cubans can now start their day with Contigo a las 5, followed by a full hour of news stories at 6 a.m. and Levántate Cuba at 7 a.m. A 3-hour show full of news, information, and entertainment, all live and streaming across radio, television, and internet. But a more somber event had taken priority over our newsroom.
No tenía altura y se inclina a un costado y se volvió a inclinar y empezó a tambalearse.
Y cuando dobla se enreda con los cables y ahí fue donde se desprendió.
Explotó y nos mandamos a correr para socorrer a las personas.
A Cuban domestic flight from Havana to Holguín had crashed 3 days earlier, shortly after takeoff, claiming the lives of 111 passengers and crew. Immediately, Martí Noticias reached its network of independent reporters and citizen journalists, all in the area of the crash, 200 meters from a high school, and provided multi-platform coverage throughout the night and over the weekend with special programming, follow-up articles on martinoticias.com and on the Facebook account, including revelations about the carrier, the dilapidated state of Cuban planes, and other critical information that were missing from Cuban state-run media reports. VOA and its affiliates were provided with Martí reporting in national and international news agencies, including the New York Times, CBS News, BBC, Reuters, ABC International, El Mercurio, Russian media, Univision, as well as local stations, both quoted and used Martí Noticias material that had raised awareness of the decline of the Cuban aviation industry before the crash. Martí Noticias covered current events in Latin America and of interest and impact to the Cuban population. Riots in Nicaragua, where hundreds of thousands are protesting against the leftist government of Daniel Ortega, demanding greater democracy. It took 1 week for Cuban state-run media to report on this crisis, and when it did, it framed it as an orchestration of the extreme right, with deaths attributed to the pro-democracy activist instead of the police. In Colombia, presidential elections are headed for a runoff in a country where Cuba was involved with mediating a peace accord between the Colombian government and Marxist rebels. And as more and more Venezuelans are illegally crossing over the border into Colombia, the country continues to slide into an economic and humanitarian crisis.
The United States will not stand idly by as Venezuela crumbles.
Recently re-elected Nicolás Maduro became the first foreign head of state to meet with Cuba's Miguel Díaz-Canel since he became president, emphasizing the importance of this Venezuelan-Cuban alliance.